enough to go in the free. Okay, hello and welcome to my next lesson on fractions, and we're going to look at today finding a fraction of an amount. Right, last lesson I set you this work on changing a fraction to a percentage. Some of you said you got a little bit stuck on this, so I'm just going to go through the answers now and you can mark your work that you sent to me, and thank you for all the lovely work that you sent in to me. Okay, so to change a fraction to a percentage, what you have to do is you have to change it to be out of 100. So you're using equivalent fractions. I'll do these four first because they're all the same method. So what we do is we say, decide ourselves, what do we times top and bottom by? Well, 100 divided by 5 is 20, so I times top and bottom by 20. So this will make 80 out of 100, which anything out of 100 I can change into a percentage, because percentage means out of 100. So we do the same method for all of these, times by 10, times the top by 10, I get 90, so it's 90%. Top and bottom I'm going to times by 2, just going to write it once here, so I get 64, so 64%. Here times top and bottom by 5, because 20 times 5 is 100, so I get 5%. So well done for getting those four right. Now, when you go on to these three here, because with all of these ones, these numbers on the denominator, 5, 10, 50 and 20, they all went into 100 an exact amount of times. But here, 8, 3 and 7 do not go into 100, so we have to use the bus stop method. So I'm going to go through that with you. So we look at question 5. I've got 3 on the top, 8 on the bottom, so it's 3 divided by 8. Put some noughts down. So I'm looking at how many 8s go into 3. Doesn't go at all, so I carry the 3 over. Remember, it's this number here I carry on. 8 into 30. Well, I know that 3 times 8 is 24, so I've got 6 left over. 8 into 60 goes 7. 7 times 8 is 56. 4 left over. 8 into 40 goes 5 with nothing left over. So if I change 3/8 to a decimal, I get this. And to change a decimal into a percentage, I times by 100. So times by 100, move all your numbers twice to the left, and I'll get 37.5%. So all done without a calculator. So the next one is exactly the same, question 6, no different. So if I go through that one with you, okay, so I've got 2 on the top, 3 out on the bottom, so it's 2 divided by 3, put some zeros down. 3 into 2 doesn't go, I carry the 2 over, there's 2 left over. 3 into 20 goes 6, 3 times 6 is 18, 2 left over. 3 into 20 goes 6, 3 6s are 18, 2 left over. And you can see it's going to carry on like this. So to change this into remember it's carrying on, to change that into a percentage, I times by 100. So I'll get 66.6 recurring percent. Okay, well done. And the last question, question 7, here. So if I'm looking at 4/7, changing 4/7 into a percentage, I'm doing 4 divided by 7. Put some zeros down. Now I think this one goes a long way. I'm just going to write down my 7 times table. to help me. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 7. Okay, right, so 63. I'm going to stop there. Okay, 7 into 4 doesn't go. 4 left over. 7 into 40 goes 5 times. 5 left over. 7 into 50 will go 7 times. 1 left over. 7 into 10 will go once. 3 left over. 7 into 30 will go 4. 2 left over. 7 into 20 will go twice. There's 6 left over. 7 into 60 will go 8 and 4 left over. And I can see I'm going to start repeating this decimal now. Okay, so I've got 4 here and 4 here, so it will just carry on. So my decimal I just put recurring because these numbers will carry on repeating. Right, I want to change this decimal. So this decimal I want to change it to a percentage. So I just times it by 100 and I'll get 57.14% if I just round it. So I'm just moving the decimal place twice or move the numbers twice, and I get that as my answer. So that was the learning check from last lesson, which a lot of you said you struggled with that. Okay, well done to the people who got it right. Well done. Okay, so we're going to look at today finding a fraction of amount. I think you'll all be okay with this. It's a bit easier than the last lesson. And I'm just going to guide you through before I give you the learning check. Okay, if you're asked to find 1/3 of 9. So imagine 9 items. Now 1/3 means I'm going to divide it into 3 equal piles because 3 is on the bottom. So I've shown the dots representing the items into 3 sections. So this is 1/3, this is 1/3, and this is another third. So there's 3 equal counters in each section. So 1/3 of 9 will equal 3 because I've got 3 counters here. Now, if you're asked to work out 2/3 of 9, well, I want this section 3 counters and this section 3 counters. So altogether, I've got 3 twice. So I've got 6 counters. Okay, now I know you know a quick way of doing this, which we'll look at in a bit. Okay, I'm just going to carry on with doing counters for the moment. Okay, let's say we wanted 1/4 of 8. So if I just draw my 8 counters, and now 1/4 means divide my 8 into 4 equal shares. So I've got the same number of counters in each share. So this is 1/4, another quarter, another quarter, another quarter. So 1/4 of 8 will equal 2 counters. Now if I wanted 2/4 of 8, I would have this quarter and this quarter. So I've got 2 twice. So I've got 4. If I wanted 3/4 of 8, well, I want 1/4, and another quarter. I want these here. So I want 2 counters in each pile 3 times. Okay, next question. Okay, say I wanted 1/5 of 20. I think you're getting the idea. 1/5 of 20, so I've got 5 equal sections. Okay, each one of these is 1/5. 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5. I've divided it into 5 because 5 is on the denominator. So 1/5 will equal 4 counters. So each of these is 4 counters. So 1/5 of 20 is 4. If you were asked to find 2/5 of 20, you'd want 4 twice. So 8. Like same thing. I want 3/5 of 20. I have 4 3 times. I want all of this section here. So I want 4 3 times. Okay. So that's using counters. What about not using counters? What about doing this question here? 1/7 of 35. So what do I divide 7 by? What do I divide 35 by? Well, I divide 35 by 7 to get 1/7. 7 5s are 35. So 1/5 is 5. Well, if 1/5 is 5, 1/7 is 5. If 1/7 is 5, what's 2/7? Well, 2/7 will be 5 twice, i.e. 10. And what would 6/7 be? Well, 6/7, I want 1/7 and I want it 6 times. So I want my answer to be 30. So let's look at that last question again. What's a quick way of doing it? Well, I first of all divide by the denominator to get 1/7. And then I times by the numerator to get 6/7. So divide by the denominator times by the numerator. Write that down. Divide by denominator. Sorry if you couldn't see that last bit. Divide by the denominator and times by the numerator. So that's your key for finding any fraction of an amount. So let's just do a couple more of those together. Okay, let's do this one here. Find 2/9 of 27. So I divide by the denominator to get 1/9, and I times by the numerator to get 2/9. Okay, try this one and pause the video and I'll have a go through it. Okay, so to find 1/8, I divide by the denominator and times by the numerator. So divide by the denominator times by the numerator. Right, next one. You're going to have a go at doing these 6 questions. You're going to pause the video. I am going to go through those with you before you have your learning check. Okay, well done Year 10 or Year 9, because I know different classes are doing this video. And also some Year 11s are doing it. Okay, 1/3 of 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 2/3 of 12, well 1/3 is 4. So we want 4 times 2, which is 8. Okay, 1/5 of 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Right, we've got 1/5 and we want 3/5. So 1/5 is 2. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, question 5. 1/8 of 24. Divide by 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So I've got 1/8, now I want 7/8. So I want 1/8, 7 times, so 21. Okay, so well done for getting those correct. Or for learning if you've got those incorrect. Hopefully you've got the method now. Please email me if you really don't understand this. Right, now your learning check please. There's 8 questions for you to do. I'm just going to check those are all easy to see. Yep, you can see all of that. So 8 questions. Remember the rule, divide by the denominator times by the numerator. Thank you for listening. Take care. Hope you have a nice day and look forward to getting your work.